It's good that you told me that you are going we're going to bring the idea of the Song of Songs in the film. And for me, it's important what you're doing. It's something to do with the real Song of Songs because it is done now. And because it is done now, and we are in Magdala, there is a great connection. And what I found is Magdala is from the root letter of Gadal. Gadal is Gimel, Daled, Lamed, which are the letters that together bring the idea of great or big or growing, developing and growing. If you want to say like a child is growing, you use this word. The same letters are used for the word flag. And in fact, everything together is these letters coming to give the idea of something that grows on and on and on and on and on to the end, to somewhere.
Yeah.
So Magdala, it's about development and it's about growth.
Transcendence?
Yes, and it's about all this growth. Growth is a sign of life.
Yeah.
How can you differentiate between the electricity that moves things, yes, and real life? Because this is movement. Movement is not a sign of life. But growth is. So if we want to find and identify if there is life somewhere here and here and here, it's in the growth of something. And when the meaning that you read about in the Bible grow all the time and develops within you the vision, that means that this thing has life in it. And you are just the earth that through you this life is coming about more and more and more. And so at this time, at this moment, Magdalena and Migdal has to do with growth. And the Song of Songs has to do a lot with growth. There are this Gimel, Dalet, Lamed. These letters are appearing in few letters about the lover. He's like a flag. He is growing, and she can identify him among thousands, like you identify the flag in a big camp.
But Shlomo, what do you, if you should, if it's possible, how can you identify, one identify oneself with the message of the Song of Songs for today?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is that?
Because it speaks, the Song of Songs is the song that you sing when the wedding is happening. This is the Song of Songs. This is the song of all the songs. So the wedding is like the prime, the merging of the bride and the bridegroom is the peak. And no one knows in the Song of Songs when it is. They know and they don't know. There is an explanation. The explanation is like Yeshua again. Yeshua gives all these parables like he says, look at the fields. They are all ripe. And the workers are cutting the wheat, reaping the wheat and the barley and everything. And this is a parable for the latter days, when the angels will come and will take the barley somewhere and the other thing somewhere else to burn. Or when he says, when the eagles will see the carcass, all of them come there. But you don't know when. You don't know when the carcass will be there. And all that. So the same thing is the Song of Songs. And the message is, don't wake up the love until the love needs to be wakened. That means if we, to apply to us, yes? What is a true love? A true love is not making sex. In making sex, you wake the other guy whenever you want, or the other lady or the lovers are waking one another whenever they want to make sex. But love is not like that. Love does not want to be woken up until it needs, and this is the principle of Yeshua. Because if you remember, and I'm sure you read the New Testament more than one time, and it says, Yeshua came for the hungry, for the thirsty, for the sick, for the miserable, and for shortly those who know that they are missing something in their life.
That means for everybody.
That they have a need, exactly. But although this is true that everybody missed something and no one is perfect, yes, still there are people who think that, oh, I'm satisfied, I'm all right, I don't need this, I don't need this. So don't go there. Don't go there. Go to those who need a glass of water, those who need to eat, those who need healing. Go to them.
But if that love you're talking about is awakened before,
So,
but why is it so important that love? Because I think most people will think that this love should apply to everything. It should just be awakened, so everything could be.
it is. It says in the Song of Songs, when it is awakened. And that's why what I'm saying is that there is an explanation when this is going to happen, the merging, the wedding, the making love. It's going to happen, and there is a description of the season. The autumn has passed, the rain has passed, and now we see the first buds are coming, and we hear the nightingale sing. Oh, this is the time when I am looking for you, and I'm looking for you, and I can't find you. You're hiding. Both of them knows exactly how the other one look. And this is relevant to us because we create our lover by ourselves. The true lover is the one that you create in your dreams, in your fantasies. And when you find him, you're happy because your dream came true.
But don't you think that the fantasy that you are nourishing
Yes.
is something that you have brought with you from somewhere else?
Of course.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how would you know? Otherwise, how would you say, oh, my lover is like an apple among the trees? And he says, she is like the rose among the thistles. Yes? So they have to have an idea before about their love and what they want, surely.
Yeah.
And so, and then it says, let me hear your sound, your voice. Show me yourself. Let me hear your voice. And this is to do a lot, because this is the sound, again, about singing, the Song of Songs. Yeah. Singing a song is always the prime of everything, like in the book of John, the Revelation of John, the new song. It happens exactly in the merging. The song that Miriam sang after they went through the dry land in the sea and came out on the other side, and a song for the Lord who came for them and took them in through this. And a song is something of celebration. So let me hear the sound of the nightingale. Let me hear your sound. I want to hear it. This is what attracts me. No, and there is also other messages like the oil, which is better than the perfume. And the oil is reminding us immediately about David, because the word lover, dod, is Daled, Vav, Daled. The word David is Daled, Vav, Daled, the same letters exactly. Now when Samuel the prophet went because the Lord Father sent him to Jesse. And he says, I found somebody among the children of Jesse. I found somebody to be a king. But he didn't tell him who is the... And Samuel didn't know until the last second. And he told him, this is the one. He went inside with the oil and everything to anoint. And Jesse is presenting his son, the first son, big, look tall and beautiful. And the Lord whispers to the ears of Samuel, don't look about his size and his big and everything. I abhor these things. I've had enough with Saul. The man is looking after his eyes, I'm looking after the heart. And then he brought all his 7 sons, and nobody says, no. And then he says, Samuel is asking Jesse, do you have more? Do you have anybody else among your children? He says, yes, there is a little one there, is shepherding the sheep and everything. He said, bring him. As soon as David comes, he says, God said to Samuel, this is the one. Now, the words this is, ze, in Hebrew is ze, is all the time when it comes in the Bible, it's a mystery. It doesn't say, who is this ze? This is the one, it doesn't say nothing. But in Samuel it says he was red hair and beautiful eyes and all that. And still, it was not his beauty. It was his heart. Because of that, he was chosen. Now, in the Song of Songs, it says, my lover is red hair. And he's looking so beautiful. And he knows to sing. And David sings to Saul when God sending bad spirit to Saul. Saul took David to sing for him to drive away the bad spirit and bring a good spirit. So it's like God has created David, the lover, is the only person that with his sound and song and melody can drive away the bad spirit, can heal, can give. And I think this is one of the principles of the Song of Songs, is the song, the time when the song is coming. So the time when the song is coming is when the vineyards start making the smell of grapes, and you don't know when it is.
But you got to tell us also, what is your opinion about Yeshua and Miriam Magdalene in that respect, in connection to what you have just said?
It's hidden. It's not written in the scriptures that we know.
But what is
the
your
same
opinion?
thing that is hidden also in the Song of Songs.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think that the love between Yeshua and Mary Magdalene was carnal? I don't think so. It was completely spiritual.
Of course.
And she was probably his most close and intimate disciple. Now, on the other thing, that Yeshua will come here, will be born, the Son of God will be born from a flesh woman, and will not be trialed or experienced with all the experiences of men, including with a lady, with a wife and all that. If he don't do this, so what's the use? He has to go through everything.
Yeah, of course.
Including this. But this thing has no details about. However, this is hidden. So it's open for everyone to see what he, like for example, when I see that when Yeshua is coming from the dead, yes, and he says, don't touch me. I haven't gone yet I had to do something. Don't touch me. Because she was probably rushing to hug him, right?
Yeah, of course.
So that tells me something about it. And I can imagine whatever I can imagine.
Yeah.
But nobody can say definitely what was between them.
Yeah.
But for definitely sure what was between them was a spiritual love, 100%, which has nothing to do with the fleshly, carnal love that are between two sexes. Not lovers,
Okay.
sexes.
Next thing, or maybe the last thing I would like to ask you is your relationship to Yeshua. You being a Jew, how do you accept Yeshua as Messiah? How did that came to be?
That's a long story, but I can tell you it happened to me when I was a student in university.
Mm-hmm.
I knew nothing about the New Testament as a book. I knew nothing very much about Yeshua. I only knew about Christianity, and I was completely indifferent. I was not against and I was not for, and it did not interest me. I just came out of the 6-day war, and my mind was completely in chaos. I didn't know what happened. Everything was chaos. I met Margalit, my wife, and one of the things that she gives me to read after I met her was the New Testament in Hebrew. I didn't know about the New Testament in Hebrew. So I really swallowed the whole book with non-stop, from the beginning to the end, 24 hours.
What was your first impression?
And after that, my first was I cried a lot, and then I was angry, like you can never believe it. I was angry.
Because
I was angry because all this was hidden from me.
Yeah.
It was part of our history, and it was all cut off. Then my right to know about it. Second, I was more angry about the injustice that was done to a person that has not done even one sin. And that was the biggest thing.
at the time when you read it,
Pain. Why?
Shlomo, at the time when you read it, of course you knew the Torah and the prophets at that time?
In a very general way.
Okay, so you didn't relate...
That's what started the whole research.
Okay, so you didn't at the beginning relate to Isaiah, to the prophet Isaiah, about Yeshua and the Messiah?
I did. We learned it at school.
Yeah, so you saw there was something...
I couldn't see that because I didn't know about Yeshua.
No, but when you read it, you knew exactly that there was some connection.
Oh, when I read the New Testament?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. This is what happened. I mean, that's what I explained to you in the beginning, is that Hebrew is talking to you with associations.
Yeah.
As soon as I read the New Testament, everything in the Old Testament raised up. I mean, in the New Testament is just a story about what happens in the New Testament, in the Old Testament. It's a story about what happened there. And then you started to understand. And this was the key. Yeshua was really the key for me to understand and investigate and research biblical Hebrew for 100%. And if I did not have his thinking and his mind, if it was not inside me when I started understanding something about what he said, if this understanding was not inside me, I could not see.
No.
Simple as that. I mean, I could have a lot of knowledge, the same like I have now, but knowledge by itself is nothing.
No.
But you feel the love of Yeshua.
Tell me, Shlomo, what is your opinion about, some of the first church fathers from the second and third hundreds after the century after Yeshua, they mentioned that they were familiar with Aramaic gospel of Yeshua. They have never found it, but I think 4 or 5 different church fathers is mentioning that they have such one in their possession. That means that probably that was the first account of Yeshua's life were written in Hebrew and Aramaic. How do you, when you read the New Testament in Hebrew now, it's more or less taken from the Greek and retranslated.
It was translated from Greek.
But still, when you go into the Hebrew words, they have new
I
meaning.
recognize the thought behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a complete other way. Or,
Yeah, yes, I do.
So your opinion is also that there must have been a kind of Hebrew or Aramaic.
I'm thinking about it quite a lot, all the time, because what I long is to have something written, like the Old Testament, about the story of Yeshua and everything, like we have it in Greek.
Yeah.
That is my dream, of course. But on the other side, I was looking and looking and looking, but in a way, this hunger inside me has, in a way, was quietened because of what Yeshua said. He said, I came to fulfill the law. I did not come to add anything.
No.
And I did not come to take anything, but I came to show in my life how the law to be fulfilled in my life. Because until now, all the prophets and all the trials of the Father to explain and to give his commandments to be fulfilled in a human being fail. And God has changed his mind every time because the human being that he created him with a free choice. So every time that human being is doing a free choice that is unexpected, I can't say unexpected for God, but anyway, that he is free, then God is like adapting himself to the result of what happened. So when he made the Mabul, the first destroyed the world by water.
The flood?
The flood, yes. When he made the flood, and then it says that God has repented, and he says, no, I will never do this again. He changed his mind. So people think that God is solid like a rock, and he never changed, but God always growing and growing and growing and changing all the time because of the free will and the free to choose of the human being. That's what causes God to all the time evolve and evolve. And because Yeshua said, I'm going back to your question, that I did not come to add anything, and I did not come to take anything. I am the law. I am, look at me, I came here, I troubled, God had troubled with his mercy in the best way that he can, which was the best way is to show, not read, and not explain, and not use the mind, and nothing, but use everything. Here is the man. Look at him, look what he's doing, and if you follow this, you will do the same thing. You will be the same thing. Yes? So, because of this idea, I thought Yeshua really didn't want to, he could write. But if he would have written it, all his life would be a substitute. How can it be? He came here. He written all the law. He gave you all the prophets and the law and this and this. The writing has been done. Now finish with the writing. Now start the living.
Go and do it.
Yeah, of doing. And because this is the best way. But if you wrote it so many times and people are starting interpreting in so many ways all the time, so what's the end of this? It's a human intellect. Yeah?
Walk the talk.
Yes,
Shlomo,
yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe we should go and look at the site.
Yeah, we'll have to show you this.
Yeah. You live nearby here, so you are close to this site, and you know how it came about and what's happening.
Yeah, we were following it from the beginning when they start building this center here. We were so glad they're building the center because we don't have shops around us, and we have to go all the way to Tiberias and there. So we were following it. Then we saw in the middle the work stopped, and then we came in and we saw and we start asking what's going on, and the beginners of the excavations here explain that they found something here. They found an old village from the time of Yeshua, and they found a synagogue, and they found also a beautiful mosaic, and also stones on which the menorah is shown, and they found also some mikvehs and everything. Later on, they went on excavating, and we came for a second and a third and a fourth visit, and every time there was a guide there, enough, really very kind to receive us very nicely, like we were invited, and she gave us explanation of what they have discovered more and more, and to sum it all in a short way, the story that is behind this village is that the people that lived here have been fishermen, and they were hunting fish and treating it with a special treatment of salt. And this was supposed to be the delicatessen that was sent to Rome from here. And this village was kind of
the delicatessen.
Doing this. And then later on, we saw that they start building the church. And as Margaret said, the church was built with the spirit of Mary Magdalene behind it, the woman, and it's built for women, and for the idea of what is women in a spiritual sense, and what is the relationship with the faith and with everything else. And Mary Magdalene surely was very close to Yeshua in many ways, and one can just read the Song of Songs, and it's a fantastic way not to be tempted to think that this is only romantic love. But it is not only romantic love. It is a great love which the Hebrew letters are explaining it in such a way which I cannot start even showing to you, but I can show a little bit. I have my board with me, and if you will have some time, we can explain few things from the letters and go really deep in one example or two examples of how the Song of Songs is speaking from under the current. Not only the beautiful words of beautiful words. No, the most beautiful words ever written in Hebrew is in the Song of Songs.
I agree.
Fantastic.
Poetry. There was one thing about the stone with the hearts on top and the menorah and stuff. That was supposed to be the altar stone, or what?
You're talking about what they found here?
Yeah. You know the stone?
They found it in the synagogue.
Yeah, it was, so probably that is a stone that Yeshua had been ministering by and prayed by. We don't know.
It's most possible. Yeah. I mean, this is something for the researchers to do. As a human being, which is earthly, with a body and everything, and not only spirit and mind, we so much long to find more and more signs and places where Yeshua was involved, and to verify the life that he had here upon this earth. And so it is just natural to want to say, like the boat they found in Ginosar, yes? Some of them, they say it was a boat from the time of Yeshua, but some of them, they say, no, this is the boat where Yeshua was. And I'm not saying no to this idea. I love the idea.
But anyway, it's a metaphor.
Not you, not me are going to prove, and even if we prove, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
It's a metaphor for something greater than.
Yes, and so the Song of Songs is a great it's a great key to know more about what Yeshua said and when he will come back. It's really a key. And there is a lot more to understand how you cannot say when he will come.
Should we go and look at
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Okay. So we can just walk over there. Here? No, yes. Yeah. But maybe the Ark of the This stone has probably been the altar stone in the synagogue, the first of its kind ever found in whole of Israel, and from the time of Yeshua. And we know from the New Testament that he had been ministering in every synagogue around the Sea of Galilee, which means that he had been praying at this stone. And you just look at the two hearts on top of it, and you can just start imagining, is that what kind of love is involved here? There is a 6-petal flower in the middle, and that also has a symbolic meaning to it. So the Song of Songs that we have just heard about is so much a part of this image here that talks about not only carnal love, but also spiritual love. It always takes more than one to create the whole. So this is the masculine and the feminine merging into one. And as you see also on the side here, there is a menorah, the 7-candle light stand of the Jews. A lot of people thought that this belonged to the Middle Ages, but now it is here. You can see it from a stone from the time of Yeshua. So by that you can see that Judaism have practically been here all the time. If we want to know how Yeshua and his contemporaries was living, look at Judaism today also, because there are so many connections. It's the most beautiful artifact from the time of Yeshua. Margalit, you know about this place.
Yes.
So I think it was appropriate that you told us about those pillars.
Well, they're dedicated to the women of the Bible. There's 9 pillars with the names of 9 of the women, the important women. For Mary Magdalene, Salome, Maria Cleopatra, they put here, and some other names. So they wanted to honor the female energy here. And each of the rooms tells a different story with the mosaics. So we could go and look at the stories with the mosaics. Venite post me et faciam vos fiere piscatores hominum. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
I always, when people they say to me that, oh, the Catholic Church, they don't know anything about Magdalene. You shouldn't. I wouldn't be so sure of that. I think there's people within the Catholic Church who know everything that there is to know about everything. That's why it's called the Universal Church. I'm not a Catholic, but I respect their integrity and part of history. And I don't agree with everything, but I know that there are doctors within their church that really knows about everything. Also about, maybe they don't know themselves the value of the Hebrew in the same respect as you or others.
They don't have to.
But they know that it's there. And I think that one day they will present, when they think the time is right, they will present exactly that Aramaic and Hebrew original gospel that we are missing now. Because it's not something that I think or believe. I know they have it in their possession in the Vatican. No doubt about it. And that is also why, just see at this center. Now they know the time is right for this. They couldn't have done this 10 years ago, but they can now, and they knew this all the time. This is not something they didn't read the Da Vinci Mystery and said, oh, we didn't know. No, they just, when they saw the Da Vinci Mystery, they said, maybe this is too early. We must. But I've heard priests who have, Catholic priests who, after the Da Vinci Mystery, who asked to
yes.
What do you think? What do you mean think? Yeah, about Yeshua and Mary being married. Yeah, why not? So he was not.
I share this idea that you do, because I think when the Dead Sea Scrolls has been found, it made such an earthquake around the whole world.
Yes, really.
Right?
Yeah.
Though they knew the Bible. They knew the Bible, they knew what is written, but the very fact that they found it made such a big wave. And I believe if, as you say, something in Hebrew will be found that is written by Yeshua or about Yeshua, that can change a lot, that can make a lot of waves. And there is a rumor like that. There is a rumor that they found something and they don't want to discover it.
Shlomo, you must. Have you been studying the Dead Sea Scrolls? Because
I did.
The part that is Hebrew and Aramaic.
I compared Isaiah.
Oh yeah, and it was.
And there was no difference.
No,
maybe one or two little things, which is completely, I would say, negligible.
Yeah.
Because in both ways, it doesn't change anything towards the understanding that a human being can understand.
No.
I mean, if instead of Vav there is Yud, it's very clear to me already before the Dead Sea Scrolls that the letters of the name of God, Yud, He, and Vav, He, are acting like a connective tissue between those 22 entities. Meaning to say, like, there are researchers that about the whole universe, how does it connect? How that one cell in your body knows everything what's going on, the information, all the body. And how that in a full forest, one tree knows about everything what happens there. And the whole forest is one organism. And how that lots of birds are coming together and acting like a big ball, and they take all kind of forms to terrify another bird that wants to And in the sea, the same thing. A lot of small organisms coming to a big one.
So
what I'm saying is that Yud Hey and Vav Hey are connecting all the 22 letters like a connective tissue.
So that is the DNA of the universe?
DNA of the mind of God.
Yeah.
I think, yes. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it is, because you take like any one letter, two letters together, yes. So you've got marriage between them. In Hebrew, we say zivug, which means zivug is merging. Okay. It's a spiritual intercourse, almost like that. So when you have the zivug, they become one word with a kind of an idea behind it, and the idea is bigger than the word, because the idea is very abstract, and it has no cloth to clothe itself with, to give it a form that you can see. So there comes the symbols of the letters, and they clothe the idea. But when they do this, a lot of the idea is still outside, and they take only part. And part of the idea is lost.
They worship the form then, or they see only the form, and not the energy.
So that's what I'm saying, that the Yud Hey and Vav Hey, you can put it in every word. In every word in Hebrew, you can put the Yud Hey Vav Hey, and you can have a better understanding of what's going on in the word. Because this is my research. I take two letters, and then I start adding them the letters of the name of God. Because it says in the law, it says somewhere, it says, my name will be written on you, upon you, O people, children of Israel. And my name will be written. Which is literally, when you do this, you start understanding so many things that you don't know before. Nobody was written anything about it, what I'm doing. No one, it's not written nowhere, as far as I know, and it's just ideas, and it works so fantastic that sometimes I...
You cry.
I don't know where I am.
No.
It's a fantastic idea.
But you are here, Shlomo, and we are so happy you are here.
I discovered all kind of things, ideas that were so beautiful in the Song of Songs today that I haven't done, and I read it. I mean, every Friday I almost read it. Every Friday.
But today, of all days?
Today I read it, and with the idea that you are coming, it makes the difference. It made the difference. So it shows in what condition of mind and understanding you are when you read it. And every time it changes.
Yes.
Which is very much characteristic of codes. If the sun shines, if it doesn't shine, I mean, the colors, the true colors, you see them when the sun shines. When the sun is not there, you see different colors, not the same. So if you see it in the right light, you see the truth. And the truth always, I found out, is so bigger than us.
Yes.
It's like what Isaiah says about God. He says, my way is not your ways. My mind is not like your mind. My thinking is not like your thinking. As far as the heaven from the earth, so is my thoughts are different from your thoughts. What are you talking about? You will never grasp me. And in the Song of Songs, it says, until the day will finish slowly, like go away, like the wind is blowing in the end of the day, yes? And the day finishes, and the shadows disappears, then I will come to my garden. And you don't know when it is. It says that. And it is so romantical. Until the shadows go away, and then I will come to my garden. Go figure out when it will be.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I would like to read it to you, a few things here in Hebrew, and you will hear how it sounds. In chapter 2, in the Song of Songs,
Yes.
it says, the קול דודי הנה זה בא, מדלג על ההרים, מקפץ על הגבעות. דומה דודי לצבי או לעופר האיילים. הנה זה עומד אחר כותלנו, משגיח מן החלונות, מציץ מן החרקים. ענה דודי ואמר לי, קומי לך רעייתי יפתי ולכי לך, כי הנה הסתיו עבר, הגשם חלף הלך לו, הניצנים נראו בארץ, עת הזמיר הגיע, וכל התור נשמע בארצנו. קומי לך רעייתי יפתי ולכי לך, יונתי בחגבי הסלע בסתר המדרגה. הראיני את מראייך, השמיעיני את קולך, כי קולך ערב ומראייך נאה. In a translation, literal translation, it says, the voice of my lover is coming. Here it is, it's coming. It is jumping over the mountains and jumping over the hills and so on. And then it says that here is him standing behind the wall, and they use the word kotel, ahar kotleno, mashgiach min halonot. He's looking through the intervals, into the space of the stones, and looking through the cracks. And just the other day, I was thinking that the world was like full of this worldly, anti-spiritual consciousness.
Why walls?
Like it is a big wall that covers the whole world, and no one can see the light. And the light can come, the light of God or the consciousness of God can come only through the cracks. That was in the song of Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
But it comes here to so much expression because it is so. It is the light comes through the crack, and there is somebody hiding behind the wall and is watching, and we don't see him. Because when the gazelle is standing in the forest or in the field, it becomes so camouflaged, you don't see it unless it moves. But it can see everything. And that's what I felt when I read this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Shlomo, about this crack and the light coming in. I was thinking about Yeshua in the New Testament. He says somebody that you never hide your light beneath a bushel. So I think if that bushel is the heart, and we carry with us this eternal flame within, but the light doesn't seem to have the power to get out because our hearts is so like stone. So there must be a crack in the stone so the light can get out. That was something I was thinking about. That
yes, that's a broken heart.
Yeah, but there is also a light within that must shine freely.
I think it is happening when our heart is broken.
Yeah.
And when there is a story, a love story, and our heart is broken, then there is a crack, and what's inside comes outside. Yeah, that's a very beautiful thought that you said. Very, very beautiful thought. And here is surely her heart is broken, and his heart is broken all the time, all over the place. Really.
So
yeah.
the light is coming in and out of that crack.
Yeah, where are you? I want to see you. I want to hear your voice. Please open the door for me. You know, the word here about there is a lock and please open, and the word open in Hebrew is the same root letter of to develop. That means that when you open something, you just don't see it, you don't see what is inside, but you are developed. Because you opened something, you cracked the code, and then wow, you start understanding more. However, I have a personal thought about understanding, People, they say all the time, I want to understand this. I want to understand this. I have a sick, good friend in Copenhagen who was one time a master in Kung Fu, and now he's sick with Parkinson.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he's shaking all the time. So from a perfect control on his heart, he became to a lost control completely. And he tells me, Shlomo, if I could only understand why God is doing this to me, I would like to understand why. I said, Johnny, come on. Say, you understand now. 1, 2, 3, you understand. So, what happened to you? This understanding healed you? Did this understanding move you anywhere? In your mind, in your intellect, fine, you understand. But what does it do to you? Nothing. Maybe it gives you the joy of understanding and knowing, okay, but what that it does to you? It doesn't heal you, understanding. You have to do more than understanding.
But I think understanding might be the first step on the way. Huh?
Understanding can encourage you to do something. But he says that he just wants to understand and nothing else. And I say, no, you look for something beyond understanding. And that's here. This is beyond understanding. If you see a flower and you see the beauty of it, and Yeshua said, verily I tell you, this flower is more beautiful than the King Solomon himself. That's beyond understanding. The love of God is beyond understanding. And if we try to attempt to understand God, it's not enough, because we never understand Him. Because He said so. We never understand Him. Our mind is narrow, and therefore we understand what we need to understand on this earth where He put us. But in heaven, and His mind, and all the other things that He did here and we don't understand, so if we aim all the time to understand, we're wasting our time. It's thrilling, yes. I understand a lot, but it's only kind of a small little cup of water to survive the day. But it's, where is the bread? I've been writing a few weeks about the story of the bread, which is the bread all over the Bible. I call it the story of the bread, which is fantastic. And I never saw it before. And only through the last days I saw the connecting lines everywhere. And that codes, I'm talking about codes that connected in the Bible about the bread. And that's a great thing. It gave me such understanding. So what? I still want the bread.
So here's
This is where the priest, where the priest.
But it's a lovely.
It's like the sea. Almost like Yeshua was in the boat. These times when Yeshua was here in the boat with the disciples, they really didn't understand what's going on.
No. It was beyond them. They couldn't.
Yeah. It was just a day of fishing, eating together, and